Could I ask everyone to stand for the pledge of allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Perlman, if I could ask you for a roll call, please.
Mr. Rock,
Present.
Mr. Ravitch, absent. Mr. Neal,
Here.
Mr. McBride,
Present.
self-present, and Mr. Rossetti.
Present.
Righty, if I could ask everyone to review the minutes from October 10th. Please advise of any questions, comments, misspellings, corrections. There are no questions or comments. When you are done, we'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
my name appears in two spots. There are two S's in my name. Other than that, it looked good.
What's the opposite of a stutter? It's not my first time pulling those levels of shenanigans. They will be corrected, sir.
Make a motion to accept the minutes with the corrections as noted.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Rossetti,
Aye.
self, abstain. Mr. McBride,
Aye.
Mr. Neal,
Aye.
And I will also vote aye. Gentlemen, if I could have you review the minutes for October 24th. And same correction applies.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the minutes of October 24th, 2023.
I'll second.
Hold.
Go right ahead.
See, Mr. Rossetti,
Aye.
myself, aye. Mr. McBride,
Aye.
Mr. Neal,
Aye.
And that's 4. What do you technically need? I mean, if you want, I'll vote aye just for the record anyway. Mr. Ray, if we could lean on you as always to provide your eloquent and detailed background, if applicable, for our first agenda item.
Sir, or rather, yes, Mr. Chairman. So the only matter of business in the first two items tonight are final plan of subdivision for Hampshire Grove. This is generally the Old Dominion site, it's kind of how we refer to it. They've come in for a concept plan prior for approval from the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Village Board. That was a little over a month ago, I think, and since then, they have completed their work for preliminary and final engineering. They still have to cross some i's and dot some t's, but all in all, the plats looks good and the engineering for the public improvements look pretty good. So we are, EEI is online with us, by the way, if you'd like to ask them any questions. Tim Paulson from EEI. And staff is recommending, or rather seeking your action for approval of the preliminary and final plat or plan of subdivision for this project. First thing to do is have a public hearing on the matter. If you would, Mr. Chairman, open and seek any public input or testimony and then close, and then afterwards a motion to recommend.
Will do. Okay.
I should also note that Mr. Ken Ninehouse is present online. If he starts speaking, you'll see him up there. And then in addition to that, their engineer, Irene, I'm going to pronounce your name, Irene, wrong. I'm sorry, Irene. Wikowski, is it Wikowski?
Wichkowski.
Wikowski is also present. If you would like to ask them anything.
All right, I will call this public hearing open at 7:05 p.m. We have actually anyone signed up to speak publicly this evening?
No.
Okay. Do we have any questions for our guests remotely this evening, gentlemen, on the agenda item at hand?
Sure.
Mr. Rossetti, do you have any questions or comments for our guests?
No, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Okay. Being that there are no public speakers signed up to speak and we have no questions or comments, I will close this public hearing at 7:06 p.m.
Mr. Chairman, before you call for a motion, I might add that the plans that were submitted for you as recommendation, you'll note on the engineering review that they include a sidewalk on only one side of the subdivision. Has been approved for recent industrial development on the other side of the highway there. So it's precedented at this point, you could say. That is still a variation at this point, though. It's not written in the books that way. So I would simply ask that that variation be included in the motion. Of course, if you want to break them up into two separate votes, you're more than welcome to do so. There'd be a variation to code section 7-4-6A, which normally requires sidewalk on both sides of the road, but given that this is an industrial park, it's not going to be a through sidewalk. It's just going to be access in and out of the park, and we expect pretty low pedestrian travel. Seems to make sense that only one side sidewalk would be required.
What was that ordinance number again? Just for the
The
record.
code section is 7-4-6A.
Thank you.
What's the variation?
Waiving that code provision to allow for sidewalk on only one side of the road.
We authorized or we recommended a variance on as Mr. Ray said, another industrial property not too long ago,
Correct.
for this same variance for sidewalk only on one side of the street.
Prior, oh, right.
It was for the Hampshire 90 park on the other side of the highway, actually.
Now, leading up to where they're at right now, refresh my memory, is there sidewalks on both sides of it for what's going back to Ryan Drive?
Tim, do you know on what would that be? Flanagan Road to Ryan Drive?
Yeah, it's just sidewalk on one side, both on Ryan Drive and then also on Flanagan. In the
Okay.
Hampshire Woods subdivision, they just have sidewalk on one side.
I believe it's on the west side, if I recall.
Yeah, this would presumably extend that on the same side, Tim?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, it connects to the existing sidewalk that's on Ryan Drive on that, and when it makes that turn, it's on the west side, right?
If there are no objections, you can obviously object to the motion, but I will entertain a motion to recommend approval of a preliminary and a final plan of subdivision for the property south of Higgins Road in the Hampshire Grove Business Park as submitted by Northern Builders Incorporated, including a variation to allow sidewalk on only one side of Ryan Drive and conditional upon completion of all required engineering and landscaping plans.
Make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Rossetti,
Aye.
myself, Mr. McBride,
Aye.
Mr. Neal.
Aye.
For the record, I'll vote aye.
Good.
Righty. I will entertain a motion to authorize the chair to report the actions of our commission's business this evening to the village board of trustees.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Rossetti,
Aye.
Aye.
myself, aye. Mr. Neal?
Aye.
Leave myself out of that. And again, we have no one signed up for public comment.
No public comments, Mr. Chairman. The only announcement I have then is, I do believe the commission will have business on December 12th, if I get that date right. As far as I know, there's just one order of business which will be related to the Dan White property, Shire land and north of there, also a little south of there. He's looking to annex and zone, so they are in the process of their submittal right now, but we do expect that will be ready at that point. And then nothing for that following meeting yet. Try to keep it that way for the Christmas holiday.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn then
I'll make the motion.
at 7:11.
Second.
Mr. Rosetti?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Mr. McBride?
Aye.
Mr. Neal?
Aye.
Go.
Thank you, gentlemen. And
Thanks, everyone.
thank you to our esteemed